Hey everybody, it's low carb and keto nutrition specialist Amy Berger bringing you, as always, keto without the crazy. Today's video is for any of you out there who consider yourselves to be an emotional eater. And, that's kind of everybody. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the human race. So this video is probably suitable for anyone, but of course, some of you out there define yourselves much more strongly as an emotional eater, or you might feel by your own definition, your own classification, that you engage in emotional eating much more often than somebody else might. So let's talk about being an emotional eater, because I think that using that term to describe yourself, defining yourself that way, could very well be holding you back. It could be putting up a wall to you getting the best results from a low carb or keto diet, whatever those results may be that you are aiming for, be it weight loss, be it reversing type 2 diabetes, reversing PCOS, reversing non-alcoholic fatty liver, clearing up your skin, getting rid of heartburn, joint pain, migraines. The list goes on and on of things that we know that keto is good for. And I'm very often saying, those of you who've watched my channel a while, you've heard me say this a lot. And if you're new, welcome, hello, welcome to the world of keto without the crazy. I am so glad you found me. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. So I am constantly talking to you about mindset and about talking to ourselves differently. Because let's get real, friends. Nobody needs another food list. If you do need a food list, check out the book I co-wrote with Dr. Eric Westman, End Your Carb Confusion. We have food lists in there. Nobody needs another food list. Nobody needs another set of rules. Nobody needs another ketone meter. Nobody needs another food scale. We already know what to do. What we need is help actually doing it, and doing it consistently enough, long-term enough to get all those great results that we are hoping for. So a lot of what stands in our way is the nonsense we tell ourselves, is the old worn out stories, the old patterns that we keep reliving, and they're not serving us. Ask me how I know. Let me reassure you, everybody, 99% of what I share with you in these videos, I share because I've been through it myself, and the things that I'm sharing with you, the tips, the strategies, the techniques, have been concretely helpful for me. Is that a word? Concretely. They have helped me in a concrete way. So I share them with you because I think they are worth trying. They've been really helpful for me, and I hope they will be for you. So let's talk about defining yourself as an emotional eater. When you say, I am an emotional eater, or let's abbreviate, one of my mentors says, the two most powerful words you can ever use are I am. I am an emotional eater. Well, are you? Are you an emotional eater? Is that your identity? Or are you someone who occasionally uses food to soothe difficult emotions? Are you an emotional eater? Or are you someone who occasionally uses food to numb out, or to make something difficult a little less difficult, to get through something hard? Is it helping you to define yourself as an emotional eater? Because I think when you say, I am an emotional eater, you feel like a victim, right? Well, there's just nothing I can do about it. I'm an emotional eater. Oops, woe is me. I guess I can't stick to keto. I guess I can never lose weight. I guess I can never get healthier or do whatever I'm trying to accomplish because I'm an emotional eater. Oh, well, no. That takes all your power away. It takes all your agency away. And it feels helpless too. I mean, like a victim, you feel helpless. I'm an emotional eater. I can't stick to keto because I'm an emotional eater, or XYZ is hard for me because I'm an emotional eater. You've got to stop defining yourself with terms that are keeping you stuck. Doesn't it feel so much better to say, I occasionally use food to comfort my emotions. I occasionally use food to get through situations that I find difficult. Maybe that doesn't feel great. Maybe that doesn't feel empowering, but it feels a lot less disempowering than just throwing your hands up and saying, I'm an emotional eater. It takes the heaviness away. It takes a lot of the load off. And I also want to point out to you something that I think will be helpful. When I say, are you an emotional eater, or do you sometimes, occasionally, maybe even often, use food to deal with your emotions? Or my friend Casey from Go Keto with Casey Durango would say, if you say, I use food to cope, she would say, you use food to not cope, right? So we don't use food to deal with emotions. We use food to not deal with emotions. We use food to kind of escape emotions. Same thing with alcohol. Some people use gambling, online shopping, scrolling social media. We all have our thing that we use to zone out. Some of us go to the food. But I want to give you a little bit of empowerment here. I want to prove to you that you can and you have over and over again all throughout your lifetime gotten through uncomfortable and difficult emotional situations without food. And I'll give you some hypothetical examples. Those of you that work outside the home, if you work in an office or whatever type of environment you work in, if your boss calls you into their office and you don't know why, they just sent you an email or sent you a message on some quick message chat thing that a lot of offices have, and they just say, hey, please come to my office, I need to see you. We never think that's good, right? We never think, oh, I must have done a really great job with that presentation yesterday and they just want to congratulate me. Or I must be getting a raise and they just can't wait to tell me. No. Our mind is a human mind. We have a human brain, and it does what human brains do, which is automatically assume the worst. It's not just you. We all do it. The human brain is hardwired to spot danger and to spot threats. If it wasn't, we never would have survived. So we're constantly on the lookout. Oh, what's coming next? Where's the threat? Where's the danger? So when we get called into the boss's office unexpectedly and we have no idea what it's about, we're thinking, I'm going to get fired. Oh my goodness, I'm going to get reprimanded. I really screwed up that presentation yesterday, even though I thought I did really well. And so you are very tense, very on edge, very nervous, very scared. And my guess would be that you would kind of just walk down the hall to that office, right? You probably wouldn't stop at the vending machine for a Snickers bar. You probably wouldn't stop off at the front desk for a donut out of the, secretary's desk or whatever, the counter, right? So there you are, feeling scared, feeling worried, feeling nervous, and you're not eating because of it. You are just dealing with life. You are walking down to the office even though you're really scared. Let's say, heaven forbid, you have a child, a spouse, a parent, whoever, a loved one who gets into some type of accident, and you get the phone call, you got to come to the hospital. Why am I doing this like we're in 1985 with, the phone? Hello? No, whatever. The phone. What does the phone look like now? This? I don't know. Anyway, those of you who are of a certain age can appreciate this, telephone gesture. So you get that terrible, dreaded call. It's midnight, it's 2 a.m, get to the hospital. Oh my God. You probably get dressed and get yourself into the car as quickly as humanly possible, and it never crosses your mind to stop off at the fridge on your way out the door. It does not cross your mind on the way to the hospital to stop at the nearest convenience store and get a pastry or get a milkshake or whatever they sell at these places anymore, to get a bag of chips. And there you were, feeling absolutely terrified and, oh my God, like just on the edge of whatever we want to call it. And you didn't use food to get through it. You just did what needed to be done. So even if you consider yourself to be an emotional eater, you don't use food to navigate every single emotion you ever feel. Of course, we have proof all day, every day that we don't do this. You occasionally do it. So it's not helpful to define yourself as an emotional eater. Now, I'm always careful to say, if that is helpful for you, if classifying yourself, of putting yourself in the box, I'm an emotional eater, pick me up off the shelf, emotional eater Barbie in my little neat package, if it helps you to classify yourself that way, then by all means keep doing it. Because if doing that is maybe leading you to seek out resources for that, there's probably podcasts on it, I'm sure there's books on it, it's not like there's no resources on there, on this out there. So if you are using that classification, that self-classification, to help yourself to move forward, to find strategies to stop emotionally eating so much, then great. But my hunch is that most of you don't do that. My hunch is that you probably didn't realize it until now, but it's keeping you stuck because you are allowing that designation, I'm an emotional eater, you are allowing that label to keep you stuck. You're allowing it to define you, and you're allowing it to completely take away any agency that you have to actually get something done. I would say you're using it as an excuse, but you're not. You don't even realize you're doing it. But I hope you do now. And please know, I am by no stretch of the imagination saying that emotional eating doesn't exist. We all do it. I might have said this earlier in the video. I don't know anyone who doesn't do this once in a while. But like I do remember myself saying, you might feel that you do it more than once in a while, that you do it so often that it really is kind of a problem for you. Okay, well, how do we fix it? Maybe we could look for some resources, but the first step is to simply stop putting yourself in that box. You get to choose how you see yourself. And like I said, you have proof that you get through various emotions, happiness, sadness, loneliness, fear, anger, whatever, the whole gamut, the whole spectrum of emotions. You get through them and have gotten through them without food. So you're capable of doing it. Doesn't that feel a lot better? Doesn't that feel a lot more empowering than just abdicating responsibility, abdicating the need to take action because you just define yourself as being an emotional eater, and therefore there's nothing you can do about it because you're just an emotional eater? Well, you know what? I'm only 5'2", but I can use a step stool to get something out of the high shelf. Well, I'm short. Yeah, and what are you going to do about it? Am I going to allow being short to keep me stuck and never put anything way up on high shelves? No, I have way too much crap and clutter, people. There's some stuff on high shelves, and sometimes I just need a chair. So, that was a weird kind of analogy, but I think it was funny. Please don't take offense to this, anyone. I was a little bit harsh, but I really do hope that that message is helpful. I really do mean it to be empowering. You don't have to stay stuck when the only person keeping you stuck is you. You get to classify yourself or declassify yourself, to de-define you as an emotional. You could even say, up until now, I've tended to use food to soothe my emotions. I used to have a really big problem with emotional eating, but I'm working on it. Even that, we don't have to deny or downplay or, I'm trying to think of the right word, not dismiss, like, what is the word? You all, I'm a writer, words are I want to find the right word. The right word is not coming to me. We don't have to pretend like we are not or we're not an emotional eater. But we can move the trajectory a little bit. Like I said, I tend to eat when I'm feeling uncomfortable emotions, but I'm learning to work on it. All right, that's enough. Everybody, don't do keto by yourself. If you need help, what are you doing out there floundering by yourself? Join my Patreon. We have multiple different tiers available. It's a monthly subscription, but you get live calls with me. If you want personalized help, if you want to have like live conversations with me every week, maybe twice a week, depending on what level you're subscribed to, exclusive content. Don't flounder out there. Don't feel lost. Don't feel hopeless and helpless. Don't feel confused and overwhelmed by all the keto crazy. Check out the Patreon. If you're not a joiner type person, if you don't like to talk about this stuff with other people, book a private consultation. There's a link in the notes to all of this. Check out all that cool stuff that I have for you, and I will see you next time. And you know what I want you to do besides stop classifying yourself as an emotional eater. What I want you to do is keep the crazy out of your keto. See you next time. Thanks for watching.